UTC students got to listen to a lecture and engage with a special speaker.
Can a new stop sign make walking to class safer?
And it's been an interesting week in politics.
I'm Brianna White.
And I'm Kayla Faulkner. Your news starts now. A controversial conservative came to UTC.
Our Emma Howland reports some students who attended the lecture weren't happy with this viewpoint. Here's the story.
Do you think that the Federal Reserve is fascist?
Dinesh DSouza was a lecturer to remember. Both students and faculty were invited Monday afternoon to attend DSouza's lecture that took place in the Roland Hayes Auditorium. He lectured about how America has benefited from capitalism and free markets. He also brought up the question of, is capitalism moral? After the lecture, he opened the floor to some questions. When asked about aspects of capitalism and about the opportunities capitalism has provided, DSouza said,
"Come to America and live the kind of life that America makes possible here, I would pay 5 times as much." So to me, what that tells me in a market is that in the world market, being an American citizen, forget about the basket of free stuff that America, forget all that. Just the free air of America, the ability to be what you want and do what you want with your life, that everybody has in this country, black, white, brown, male, female, gay, whatever. Everyone has that ability. That's worth a lot more than $10.
DSouza was well received by some, but strongly opposed by others. The lecturer was asked not to be recorded on video. Despite students trying to stump DSouza, they could not. DSouza is continuing his tour throughout the month.
Have you set up your advising appointment? Some changes have come this year. We found someone who can clear up some confusion.
Historically, students were given a 6-digit alternate PIN to allow them to register for classes. So now we will be going to advisement holds, which means a hold will be placed on all students' accounts that prevents them from registering for classes. So when you meet with your advisor to be advised for your spring registration, they'll have to clear that hold before your registration time ticket opens. So you want to make sure you get advised prior to the start of your registration time ticket. Once that hold is cleared, you can register for your classes. Time tickets will be available for you to view in your MyMocsNet account starting October 24th. So just be sure to register for classes and get that hold cleared before you can register.
Remember that priority registration for graduate students and upperclassmen opens November the 6th, so go get advised.
Drivers on campus will now have to come to a complete stop at the corner of Douglas and Oak Street. Our Alyssa White has the story.
Oak and Douglas Street is known for the busy foot and vehicle traffic. The intersection of Oak and Douglas is now a four-way stop as the Chattanooga Department of Transportation has decided to install stop signs to help with the heavy flow of traffic. Sue Culpepper feared about being run over when crossing Oak and Douglas.
It's great. I almost got hit a couple of weeks ago, and it's just very scary to walk across those streets when you're trusting the people to stop, and sometimes they don't.
This action is in response to input received from across the campus community. The university has reached an agreement with the city of Chattanooga to install stop signs and improve pedestrian safety.
The proposed parking plan for next fall will not be put into effect. UTC officials say further study is needed. The proposal would divide into commuter and residential space. In the meantime, parking service officials will continue to improve the current system. Stay tuned to Mocs News as we continue to follow this story.
Chattanooga Mayor Andy Burke could throw his name into the race. While nothing is certain yet, Burke says he's considering it. If he decides to run, Burke would probably step down as mayor, which may trigger a domino effect in the city's government. Stay tuned to Mocs News as the story unfolds.
Republican Tennessee U.S. Senator Bob Corker blasted Trump this past weekend. He accused Trump of running the White House as a reality show and that he will plunge the U.S. into another World War. Trump fired back by commenting on how short Bob Corker was and that he was conned in his interview with the New York Times, where Corker commented on Trump's presidency. Corker previously announced he is not for re-election in 2018.
October is Domestic Violence Month. You can show your support by wearing the color purple and help raise awareness for domestic violence by participating in on-campus events. Take Back the Night is coming up on October 25th.
UTC students got a chance to talk about sex. Organizers called the week-long event an opportunity to get the sex ed you never got in high school. The series of workshops and lectures were sponsored by the Women's Action Collective and Spectrum Group. The purpose was to educate students and bring light to domestic violence and sexual harassment.
Famous comedian and Chattanooga native Ralphie May has passed away. May was best known for his numerous TV stand-up specials. He was the second-place contestant on the first season of Last Comic Standing. May died of cardiac arrest after a battle with pneumonia.
The weather has been great this past week, and hopefully it stays that way.
RJ Rivera has that forecast.
Thanks, ladies. There's a lot going on this weekend in Chattanooga, and hopefully the weather won't put a damper on your plans. Saturday and Sunday will still have highs in the 80s, but the rain will hold off till Sunday afternoon. And other than cloudy skies on Monday, the rest of the week is filled with sun and highs in the 70s. So it sounds like we'll have a perfect weather for the next week and all the activities that come with it.
Well, after homecoming week, the Mocs are taking it easy this weekend.
That's right. This time of the year is busy. Let's head over to Joseph and Stephen for the lowdown.
Thanks, ladies. UTC Athletics sure had a busy weekend, didn't they, Stephen?
That's right. Football, soccer, and volleyball were all action this weekend. Let's take a look at some highlights.
The Mocs had a rough start to the season, and homecoming was no exception. Pre-game festivities that included food and music started at 12 and lasted throughout the day. 30 minutes before kickoff, the Mocs walk took place and the band showed off their fantastic skills and performing ability. However, the game itself was lackluster to say the least. True freshman Cole Copeland started in place of injured quarterbacks Alejandro Benefield and Nick Tiano, and the offense struggled as a result of that for the majority of the game. After a promising first quarter that saw the Mocs take a 10-7 lead over the Furman Paladins, UTC was stifled by the Furman defense until late in the fourth quarter. For the second straight week, Chattanooga struggled to run the football against a SoCon opponent, gaining only 7 total yards. On the other side, though, Furman ran for 290 yards and 2 touchdowns against a soft UTC defense. But despite most of it coming in garbage time, Copeland did set a school record for passing yards by a true freshman with 317. The Mocs go on the road to take on Mercer next week.
Chattanooga soccer had a troublesome homecoming weekend against VMI and UNCG. Chattanooga started the weekend with a loss against VMI. The Mocs scored the first goal of the game early in the second half, but the lead did not last long when VMI scored only a minute later to tie. VMI got 2 more goals for the final score of 3-1. The Mocs continued to play on Sunday against UNCG, where both teams had trouble finding a goal. After 2 overtime periods, the game was forced to a draw. The Mocs are now 9th in the SoCon. They continue the season on the road this weekend, where they face Citadel on Friday and Mercer on Sunday.
Chattanooga volleyball had a triumphant homecoming weekend with wins over closely ranked teams Sanford and Mercer. The Mocs finished last Friday's match with a 3-1 win over Sanford and swept Mercer in a 3-0 match on Sunday. They continued their second season Wednesday with a loss against in-state rivals ETSU. The 5-set match was a tough loss for the Mocs as they dropped 1 spot to 4th in the SoCon standings. They look to reclaim that 3rd ranking with a win over Wofford on the road this Saturday. Well, if you love watching the World Cup, then you may have been disappointed to hear that the U.S. men's national team won't be going to Russia in 2018. They'll be sitting at home watching the festivities with the rest of us. The U.S. suffered a 2-1 loss against Trinidad and Tobago on Tuesday, quashing any hopes of qualifying for the World Cup. The U.S. men's national team will miss the World Cup for the first time since 1986, and in breaking news this morning, U.S. coach Bruce Arena has resigned from the team after only 1 year with the team. Who will be the next U.S. coach? Stay tuned to Mocs News as we continue to follow the story very closely.
Well, you can put up your soccer jerseys and break out the hockey sweaters. The U.S. men's national team chances of the World Cup title may be over, but the Nashville Predators are looking at taking another shot at the Stanley Cup. The Preds made franchise history last season by winning their first ever conference championship and moving on to their first Stanley Cup opportunity. The Preds hope to win it all this year, but it may not come as easy to them with the loss of star player and team captain Mike Fisher, who retired in the offseason. The Predators' season started on October 5th. Their next game is tomorrow night against the Chicago Blackhawks. Well, that will do it for this week in sports.
Students could talk to representatives about what each major and minor offers. The Majors and Minors Fair was held on Tuesday for students who are undecided about their degree path. Departments like interior design, communications, psychology, and more took part. The fair is an annual event, so if you missed it, don't worry because you'll have it next year.
The Westin opened its doors to the public this week. The downtown hotel has 259 rooms at 10 stories, built in gold glass. It features 3 restaurants and a rooftop bar. Are you a pet lover? The Westin features 2 floors with dog amenities in the room. The hotel also offers a playroom for children with scheduled classes in art and music. It's fall break and you have plenty of time to check out these events. Lake Winnipesaukee is in full effect for the Halloween season. For $26, you can get some Huntingly good fun, and this includes unlimited rides.
Speaking of Halloween thrills, stop by the Carter Plaza for Nightmare on Derby Street. The Chattanooga Roller Derby girls have their last home match for the season. Dress up in your best costume for the occasion. The event starts at 7 p.m. and tickets are $10.
And it's Oktoberfest time at the Chattanooga Market, this Saturday and Sunday at the First Tennessee Pavilion. Enjoy German culture and plenty of beer. The event runs from 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. on Saturday and 11 a.m. until 5 p.m. on Sunday. That does it for this edition of Mocs News. Thank you for joining us. Check out our video uploaded throughout the week to YouTube, and don't forget to subscribe.
Have a great weekend from all of us here in Mocs News.